Hello, students. I wish you all a very good morning. I hope you are doing well. So, students, we have started with geography, and in that, the first chapter which we are going to study is natural regions. And today, we are going to see the world around us. Okay, we are going to try to understand how the world is around us. So, we all know that there are many different kinds of plants and animals on the earth, but only certain kinds are naturally found at any particular place. That means they are talking about a particular or peculiar species which have been found in only that place. If you visit or we go and visit that place, especially to see or to wonder those species of plants and animals. Is that so, right? Cacti are found in the desert, polar bears are found in the Arctic, and elephants are found in Central Africa and India. So we know that this peculiar kind of species of living things, that is plants and animals, have been found only in those places. You won't find polar bear in a desert, will you? No, that will be an impossible thing, right? If you ask to find the Asian or African elephants in the Arctic or Antarctic region, that won't be possible. So some kind of animals and plants have been grown or adapted to a particular place. You are a kid living in Maharashtra. Do you have to be on the outlook for snow leopards or worry about finding yaks on the road? No, because we know that what kind of climate or weather Maharashtra has got. Do you think, have you ever seen Maharashtra has got snow to find this kind of animals around us? No, that won't be possible because these animals are not adapted to live in the weather conditions in Maharashtra. The general weather conditions, such as the range of temperature and rainfall that typically occur in a particular location like Pune, are called the climate of that location. So, the range of temperature, that how cold a place is or how hot a place is, wet or dry a place is, this comes in the range of temperature, and how much rainfall that place gets all links to the climate or decides the climate of that location. Some climates are hot, some are cold, some are wet, some are dry. Adapted means the term which we saw earlier. Adapted means that a plant or animal has inherited certain characteristics that enable it to live in one type of climate or other. Adaptation means your body has got used to or has got those kind of characteristics, special characteristics or features which we call, to live in that or to survive in that particular climate. So, a camel is adapted to living in a desert. It cannot survive in a cold climate because whatever the body or the physical features or characteristics it has got to survive in a desert, not in a cold climate. A polar bear is adapted to living in very cold places. We know that how polar bear looks. It is all with white fur. Now, do you think or can you believe if this white fur is given to that animal and that animal is adapted for desert region, will that animal survive? No, that animal won't be able to survive because the body characters are not been meant to be living in a desert. The polar bear is adapted to live in cold places. So, what do you call a polar bear that is walking around in the desert? Can you think of it? We will call that polar bear as a lost polar bear. Well, that was a joke. Okay, so plants and animals don't live alone. Have you ever seen only animals living in a forest? No, we see plants along with these animals. They live together with other plants and animals in a group, which we called it as a community. All these plants and animals must be adapted to the same climate so that they can live together. A community of plants and animals living together in a particular climate is called a biome. Now, do you understood what a community of plants and animals living together is called? It is called as a, it makes it a biome. Okay. So we all know that only plants cannot live on a land and only animals cannot live on a land. They have to live together. They have to adapt to live together to create a particular biome in a particular climate. Look at the different biomes found on Earth. Let's study some of them. Now, according to the community of plants and animals, they have created, it creates a biome, and we all know that we do not find same species everywhere. We have different species of plants and animals on the earth, right? So this have created different biomes on the earth. So now let us study some of them. Biomes can also be called as zones of the earth. Okay. Do you remember the shape of the earth and the idea of latitudes, which you have already studied in fifth standard, right? The sun shines almost vertically in the region close to the equator. We all know that the sun rays are exactly falling vertically on the earth's surface, right? So most of the equatorial part or regions near the equator get the highest hit, okay, get the most of the sun rays, right? Because of the shape of the earth, the rays of the earth get slanting towards the poles, and that's why that part of the that region of the earth do not get much rays or do not get much heat. So we have cold regions towards the pole, whereas there is intense heat, and the heat gets decreasing as it moves towards the pole. The area from the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree north. These we are talking about the latitude. Okay, so Tropic of Cancer is one of the imaginary line on the surface of the Earth. That is 23.5 degree north latitude to the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 23 degree half, 23.5 degrees south, is called tropical region. So from latitude 23.5 degree north to the 23.5 degrees south, the region is called as tropical region. The region between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn is known as tropical region. It's very hot and humid in the torrid zone. Between the tropics and the polar circles in the temperate region, that is, the torrid zone has a hot and humid climate which comes between the tropics and the polar circle. It becomes the temperate zone. The north temperate region is from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic, whereas the south temperate region is from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic. You can just see the names on the slide, the shaded part, and you can just make out what is torrid, temperate, and frigid zone. It is not too hot or not too cold in the temperate zone. As we already discussed, and as I said, that as you move towards the pole from the equator, the temperature starts getting decreased. So it is not too hot and not too cold in the temperate zone, because temperate zone comes between tropical region and the polar region. Beyond the Arctic Circle, up to the North Pole, is the frigid zone. So, about temperate zone, as we start moving towards the pole, to the Arctic Circle, that is the point of the North and South Pole. Arctic is to the north and Antarctic is to the south. So, as you move towards both the poles, it becomes the frigid zone. Beyond the Antarctic Circle up to the South Pole is the frigid zone. It's really cold in the frigid zone. We know that how the Arctic and Antarctic region are. So now we'll start with the tropics. We'll start with the tropical evergreen forest. What kind of biome we have in tropical region? We have tropical evergreen forest. Can you just imagine what kind of forest this might be by the term evergreen? What do you mean by evergreen? Can anyone tell? Okay, let's just start with it. Yes, Ishita, very good. Which is always green, forever green. Very good, very good. So now, students, pay attention to the screen. We are going to start with the tropics. What is the climate like here as we studied earlier? It is very hot and humid. The tropical regions are very hot and humid. It rains throughout the year. As though it is very hot, it also has humid climate. So, humid climate gives us rain. So, it rains throughout the year. There is no cold or dry season during the year. The evergreen forests in these regions are called tropical evergreen forest. There are evergreen forests in this region, in the tropical region, hence they are called as tropical evergreen forest. It is not just that evergreen forests are present only in tropical regions. There are evergreen forests found on the surface of the earth, but the evergreen forests which are found in tropical region are called as tropical evergreen forest. Why are these forests called evergreen forest? Since there is no dry season throughout the year, the trees do not shed their leaves in a certain season. Means there is no dry season, so the leaves are not going to get dry, and hence the leaves do not get dry. They do not shed off or they do not fall off the tree. As the trees are green throughout the year, they are called evergreen, which means green forever. But wait, don't the leaves fall down at all in this forest then? Because we all know that leaves do fall from the trees, right? Trees do shed off the leaves so that new leaves come up on those trees, right? So, do you think that these leaves of this forest won't fall at all? All leaves fall off when they are old. New leaves keep coming up too. All trees keep losing some leaves through the year and get new ones. They don't all lose all their leaves at the same time. So now you got it why this forest remains evergreen forever, because the old leaves do fall, but already a new leaf is already taking the place of that old one, so that tree or those forests do not look empty at all. They are always full of leaves, and they look green, hence they are called as evergreen forest. Warm and humid climate throughout the year with plenty of water is excellent for trees to grow. We know that along with sunlight, plants need water to grow. So, when these two conditions are already in plenty, obviously the trees are going to grow in an excellent way. So, the trees grow well in the tropical forests. There are lots of trees which have lots of leaves. The tropical evergreen forests are really thick forests. These forests are found in the region close to the equator, because we know that what the climate of equator is. The branches of the trees spread out and have a thick growth of leaves. There are many layers of trees too. The trees which grow tall, they grow tall. The trees which are short, they are short. But this forest is very, very thick and dense because of good climate and good rainfall and full of trees. The tree cover is so dense and thick that even sunlight cannot reach the ground. The forest floor hardly receives any sunlight, and that's why there aren't too many plants there. It's quite open and clear. So, if you visit any of the tropical evergreen forest, you'll find that the ground is very open and clear. Why is it so? Because the forest floor hardly receives any rainfall, and if there hardly receives any sunlight, and if there is no sunlight, no plant will be able to grow. Since the forest floor is quite clear, a lot of large animals can move about easily. If you get a plain road or empty road, you'll start riding. If you are riding a bicycle or something, like, you'll just go and go. Similarly, open place or open forest, open land gives place or habitat to the tall animals to live in a harmony. There are many large animals here, like the okapi, tapir, rhinos, gorillas. There are also many different reptiles, amphibians. What are amphibians? The animals which lives on land as well as water. Is it so? Right? And insects in the forest. There are also many kinds of fungi that grow on the forest floor. You might have heard about term fungi, right? The mushrooms. This is a family of fungi. There is a lot of space between the canopy of trees and the forest floor in the tropical forest. Canopy means the floor, the upper or the roof of the trees. Okay, the roof of the trees is called as canopy of trees. Okay, so there is a lot of space between the roof of trees and the forest floor. This space is home to so many birds, mammals, insects, and reptiles. You can see leopards, poison dart frogs, boas, and coleoptera. You even see a lot of creepers growing on trees. And you all know what creepers are, right? Trying to climb up on them to get some sunlight. As sunlight is not able to reach the ground, these creepers climbed on the other trees to get the sunlight. The top layer of the trees forms the canopy or the roof of the forest, as I said earlier. Most of the trees are tall and the leaves are broad. There are also many orchids, mosses, and lichens that grow on these trees. All this species of plant like orchids, mosses, and lichens grow on the other trees. These are parasitic plants, you can say, which grow on the trunk or the bark of the other trees for their survival. Many birds live here, like the hornbill, sunbird, toucans, macaws, etc. There are also animals like the spider monkey, sloth, tamandua, etc. There are some trees that grow even taller than these large trees. We already know that evergreen forest has large trees, but there are some trees which grow more larger than these trees. These trees are the ones that are really, really very strong. They have to be able to tolerate the hot sun and the strong winds, as they do not have protection of the canopy. The tall trees which already makes the roof of the forest or to the evergreen forest, but the trees which are very taller than this, they have to tolerate the hot sun and the strong winds. That's why they are very strong. We find animals here too, like the eagle. Now, the animals which likes to fly high, or the birds which likes to fly high, not the animals, sorry. But this comes in the category of animals itself. So, we find animals here too, which can climb higher, and birds which can fly high. Those are like eagle, flying fox. Flying fox is a bat, okay? It's in the family of bat. King Columbus, Columbus, etc. Hardwood trees like rosewood, ebony, mahogany, etc. grow in these places. These trees have really got strong wood or hardwood. What animal is this? Can you just recognize it? Okay, okay. Many are coming with iguana. Okay, let's see. Very good. There you go. It's iguana. What animal is this? I know it's a snake, but which species of snake? Amruta is saying some type of snake. That's funny. Okay, I got Tanmay saying python. Let's see. It's anaconda. Can you relate this now? Where we find anacondas especially? Have you ever, if you are very or you are interested in watching geographical or discovery channels, then you will come to know that where we find anacondas, especially very good, very, very nice. They are found in Amazon rainforest. Very nice, very nice. We'll come to know in the later or the last slide of the PPT why the Amazon forest or what is the importance of Amazon forest. Very good. What birds are this? Quickly, we are running out of time, students. Okay, it's macaw and hornbill. Okay, let's see. Very good. It's macaw and not hornbill, but it's toucan. What animals are this? Come on, quickly, quickly. What animals are this? Leopard. And the other one? Chimpanzee. Let's see. It's jaguar and it's orangutan, right? There is so much variety of plants and animals, insects and birds in this forest. Tropical forests are called the world's largest pharmacy. Now you might have been or you are very well known about the term pharmacy. Pharmacy means related to medicine. Okay, we call pharmaceutical shops or pharmacy is a generally in general language it is a medical shop, right? A drugstore. So, tropical forests are called the world's largest pharmacy because more than one fourth of the medicines that we use have been discovered here. Now, we knew that we have been studying from the in the earlier slides that we find a lot of species, a lot of plants and animals, right? So, plants are we get medicines from the plants, right? So the plants which are present or found here have formed one fourth of we have found one fourth of the medicines from here. That's why they are called as or the tropical forests are called as largest pharmacy because whatever medicines which we use, one fourth of these medicines have been discovered here. This forests are in severe danger. Farming, mining, drilling, and settlements are causing deforestation. Cutting down of tree of this forest is harmful to humans and the earth. We need to really save them for us, or else you know the consequences. What will happen if these trees have been lost or cut down? So that's it for the day. We are done with the PPT. We have completed our lecture in time.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.